Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This is the week 4 grocery video of my $25 grocery budget challenge of 2025. If you haven't been previously following along, the way that this challenge is working is there is one person participating, that's me. I have $25 cash that I can spend, but the goal is really to maximize my buying power as much as I possibly can to increase the amount of food that's available to me, to show that when you are on a $25 challenge, you do not have to be limited to just that dollar value, that there are things that you can do. So whether that is shopping sales in the flyers, looking in store for markdowns, utilizing and participating in store incentive programs, which are point rewards programs, using coupons. There are lots of ways that you can increase your buying power. And there's lots of tricks and tips that you can use. So instead of spending for example, instead of spending a large amount of your budget on a ingredient that you need for one recipe, you could do something like go to a bulk store like the bulk barn and buy just enough of that item for the recipe and keep the rest of the money for other things that you need within your budget that week. I had a really fantastic week this week. I earned almost an additional 15,000 PC Optimum points last week. So I have points that I can redeem for $10. I have coupons that I can use. I also earned 501 scene points last week. I actually earned 1 scene point, and my birthday happens to be in the month of November. I didn't know that they do this, but they gave me a gift for my birthday month, and they gave me 500 scene points. So 501 points earned. Check out what I was able to get this week. And also keep in mind that this is adding to any food that I had left over from weeks 1, 2, and 3. Any leftover food is going into my pantry. So I am showing, number one, you can build a pantry on a small budget, but also the benefit that having a pantry can have on your meals. Thanks for tuning in. I live centrally located between two main shopping hubs. Last week, I showed how close the stores were together of one. Here we are in the mall, Walmart, Dollarama, and Giant Tiger. And directly in through the doors, the Giant Tiger doors into the left, inside the mall, is a bulk barn type store. So very close together here as well. I just stopped to do a $15 top up. I got 75-cent coupon and I got a freebie. Woo! See that? Who leaves these behind? I just don't understand. I seriously feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Coachman wieners, 375 grams, $7.27. It just can't be right. It can't be. $1 5-pack of avocado. How can I not get that? That's exciting. I've got quite a collection of fast fuel coupons. And this big one here, $4.97, that was a found coupon, so not one that I purchased gas for. I'm definitely not spending all of these because I do have some points that I can redeem this week, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have points that I can redeem next week, but I am going to spend a little bit of this. Let's head into Sobeys. This is a great price, and they're local. I'm out of milk, and I'm here kind of checking out what the options are. And I saw this. This is 1%. So this would be $2.30. I could use a coupon on this. Pretty sure this has the Dairy Farmer of Canada's logo. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe Scottsburn doesn't. But I know that it's getting close to, but I only use milk in cooking. So I could freeze this. It's a thought, I guess. This is a better option for me. We'll go with unsweetened. Week 4, and what you see sitting on the counter here, $24.31. I have 69 cents left. What you don't see is I'm going to use the 69 cents to purchase an onion or two if I can swing it after I purchase a package of the Dollarama brand of Mr. Noodles. So buy that first, and then I'll know exactly what I have left to spend on onions. I'll have to get them in bulk. So I did really well. There's some very pricey items sitting here on the counter. I'm pretty excited. I redeemed $10 worth of points, and I used 2 of my small fast fuel coupons. Let's get started. The very first thing that I purchased was a fast and fancy rice. I wasn't certain when Walmart's rollback was going to finish, and I wanted to get one. It was 97 cents. I shopped at Superstore, Giant Tiger. I did a Flash food purchase at Superstore. I did a FoodHero purchase at Sobeys, but I split the purchase and split the service fee. I shopped at the Bulk Barn and Walmart and Sobeys. Sounds like a lot, but the stores are all really close together, and it really wasn't. I knew that I wanted to get vegetables this week, frozen vegetables, different variety than what I have. And I also knew that I wanted to get some frozen fruit. But before that happened, I was in Giant Tiger, and imagine to my delight, like my extreme delight, that packages of avocados were marked down to $1. And I got one. And I got one when I got the molasses. So I'm going to need that molasses as an ingredient up and coming. You can see here, $2.50 for the molasses, $1 for the avocados, totaling $3.50. And I rethought it, and I went back and I grabbed one more. So $1 extra. So I knew I had those avocados, and I wanted to get fruit, other fruit. I had $10 to redeem, and I kind of worked out what is the best to redeem. Is it last week's flyer, where big bags of frozen fruit were on sale at Superstore and get no-name vegetables, or was it this week's flyer when PC vegetables were on sale? And that's what I went with because I wanted the variety. I do really like no-name vegetables, but they're really limited in the options you can buy. So these veggies were on sale for $3. That's a really good price. They have a lot of different blends and mixes, and I was really torn. I wanted the peas for sure, so I did get those, but I was really torn between the Brussels sprouts and a stir-fry mix. I ended up going with the Brussels sprouts. The fruit was $3. So this is the no-name bags of fruit, and they are either 300 or 400 grams. They have a couple different blends. They have mango alone. They have mango, strawberry, banana. They have blueberries alone. The blueberries alone are 300 grams. They have strawberries alone, and there's another blend. I ended up going with the strawberries because I wanted a 400 gram pack. So that took me to $9, and I knew that I could spend 10. I picked up some prosciutto. This is 50 grams. It cost $2, and that brought my Superstore total to $11. And you can see the purchase there of the loyalty, $10, and I only paid $1 cash right down there. I got 500 bonus points for each of those package of vegetables, so that was very exciting. I also did a flash food shop. I'm going to stop the video and insert a picture of that. They had these boneless ham slices. They were regular $9.99 on in the app for $2.47. I picked up 2 of them. There was a small service fee, and it brought the total to $5.19. I thought that was fabulous. This is 375 grams in each of these packages. So many things I could do with this ham. Then I shopped at Sobeys FoodHero. I am going to insert a picture of the receipt here. Don't worry though, it looks expensive, but remember I split it. When I saw the planked salmon for $3. I kind of just sourced around to find out if there was anybody else that might be interested in planked salmon at $3. So they're individual servings. So that's 141 grams in individual servings. And I got 2. And I also got quite a large pack of honey garlic chicken thighs. So they're seasoned and they're chicken thighs. That was $3.66. The service fee was $1.79. I split it with someone who also got 2 packages of planked salmon, and they also got a package of honey garlic chicken thighs, only their package was bigger than mine. So I actually divided the service fee, $1.79, divided by 6 items, worked out to 30 cents per item service fee. So I just added that onto the price, 30, 30, and 30. So the plank salmon cost me $6.60 for the 2 packages, and the chicken thighs cost me $3.86. And like I said, it's a really large package. It's 590 grams. So 454 grams is a pound. So this is almost a pound and a half. So very happy with that. I shopped at the bulk barn, and this was a really great bulk barn shop. And randomly, so I didn't have to go back up and back down. This was an early shop, so I just bought my items. I usually leave bulk barn to the last, so I know that I only have a certain amount of pennies that I need to be aware of, but I wanted a few more things this time. I got more beans. So I bought beans last week. I haven't used them. These beans are to go with the beans I bought last week. I bought more oatmeal. I still have oatmeal left, pre-packaged from last week. I have the exact amount needed for a loaf of bread, half loaf, and I have a package, like a breakfast package. I also got some lentils. I got some oregano, which I had oregano, but I used it all in week 1 when I made the pasta sauce. So I haven't had any oregano since then. So this is great. And interestingly, you might want to know what this is. This is peanut butter. I'm pretty excited about that. My bulk barn receipt is here. So I paid 64 cents for the beans, 23 cents for the lentils, 10 cents for the oregano, 83 cents for the peanut butter, and 22 cents for the rolled oats, and my grand total came to $2.02. But since we round pennies down, I paid with a toonie, so $2 cash, and it just was $2 cash. I didn't have to pay the 2 cents. So that worked out quite well. I redeemed some fast fuel coupons. I wanted to redeem my small ones, and I knew that we still have greens growing. So I still have Swiss chard and I still have kale. I have tomatoes growing in my garden. I thought that if I could get I actually have green peppers growing in my garden as well. A cucumber, that was the makings of a salad. So they had cucumbers on for $1.29. And I also wanted some kind of milk. I've been out of milk since mid last week. I was really pleased. I looked at the actual milk first and I just hemmed and hawed like, oh, I didn't want to spend the money. Even using coupons, even using half price things, I just kept hovering around there. I feel like I was in there a really long time, all to do with the milk. It wasn't that long, but when I walked back down to the dairy-free section, or the non-dairy section, not dairy-free, non-dairy, the almond breeze, 2 different versions of the almond breeze were on for $1. So I purchased the unsweetened and unflavored. That means that I can use it in recipes, and that will work fine. It's $1.99. Used my 2 small fast fuel coupons, so the total came to $3.38. And my balance was 20 cents. You can see there that I gave them cash 25 cents and they gave me 5 cents back. So those 2 items cost me 20 cents. I feel like, although the counter seems little, this is some pretty phenomenal stuff. Like 2 bags of avocados, 2 pieces of planked salmon, 1.5 pounds of chicken thighs, 2 packages of boneless ham slices. To get the prosciutto, and she sliced it super thin. For me, it's I know this doesn't look like a lot, but it's folded over. It's actually 2 large full slices. I'm going to need that for a recipe that I'm making. Yeah, I'm stoked. Let me know your thoughts. I need to merge this stuff together. This is the beans that I had from last week. This is the beans that I just got. This is the oats that I had last week. This is the new oats that I got. I don't have tons of small little containers, so I just need to kind of switch these things around to make the most of the containers I do have. I was able to get everything out of the baggies and into jars. So this is jammed full to the top. So that's the oats. I still do have one prepared bag, breakfast bag, but this is everything else, including the one that I had measured out separately for bread. Then I've got lentils, beans, and I moved the yeast into this container. I had it in a glass jar, but now I have oregano in the glass jar that this used to be in. I'm going to pick up a pack of ramen here at Dollarama, and they are 3 for $1, making them 33 cents each. I really did have a phenomenal week, but I did also shop with purchase and with flexibility. Those are the 2 key things that I find help me be the most successful with a small budget, whether I'm on a challenge or whether I'm just shopping with my own small budget in mind. Shopping with purpose means that when you have items that you want, you're making a grocery list. And I did. I had frozen vegetables, frozen fruit. I had a cucumber, molasses, and beans on my actual shopping list. And for everything else, I just was looking at the flyers, looking at what was on sale in the discount apps, looking for markdowns in stores. And I was just hoping to be inspired from what I could find and think about before I purchased it, if it would work with ingredients that I already had at home. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do so. It will help me. Likes, shares, comments, they help me as well. And definitely stay tuned to the end of this week. Stay tuned for Friday so that you can see that everything we have eaten this week, but also everything that we have left over after 1 full month on a very low budget challenge.